it's something we need to investigate, just so we know what the annual bond payments would be. And I don't think we have an idea. If we needed $5 million for these projects, we don't know until we investigate it. We don't know what the bond payment will be. And it could be half of what we're spending each year, and yet we still have the rest of the other half to do new projects as they come up. So I mean, I think at least we are looking into it. Staff to meet with bond counsel, and they sit down and they just talk you through the scenarios. That's not something I can do. I need the staff to be able to be authorized to at least call them in and talk to them. They don't charge to come in and go over numbers with you.
Well, how do we do that?
Well, we would call our bond counsel in and our bond underwriters and just show them, tell roughly how much we need and talk about terms and how many years we would do it. Well, I'm sure Dan would agree that probably what Elizabeth just mentioned, probably $5 million worth of improvements,
so
including getting, no, you have to work with Dan.
We don't know the numbers, we can't share the total number. We don't have that prepared
So
on these
before
roads here.
let's take 5 steps back. Before we go out and talk to bond people about loans, let's figure out what it is we would like to do, what we need, and what actually needs to be done.
One thing we know, why piecemeal Coleman like that? It just gets worse each year. And like Dan said, he has to do his eyebrows, he has to pave to make it work for the future. Then we got to dig all that out, the new asphalt, just to, when we find it the next year, if we can move the road over. It just seems like instead of piecemealing it, nobody would piecemeal their house if they build it. No one buys a car piecemeal. It's just, it's not bad planning to work bond issues. That's actually good planning.
Well, you're talking about putting over $2 million into just one road too, without looking at any other alternatives with it?
Because that's the only road we have that's on the edge of a cliff with a stream running
Well,
along it.
no, I disagree with that. I was on other roads that have been like that too. I mean, go down by Laurel Hill, you'll see the same thing. There's cliffs you can go off of there too.
Laurel Hill is
And there's
on this list.
there's other things too, other roads out there.
Well, we can't do everything. I tried to pick the most egregious of all. And someone just said Laurel Hill, so we put Laurel Hill on the list.
Well, I'm asking Bill to work on Laurel Hill with us. We just got a new paver repaired, and so I'm telling him they need him to look at doing Laurel Hill for us with the road crew.
So, but any problem with Dan at least trying to come up with that number?
Please.
I don't know how we're coming up with a number.
Please talk into the mic.
We need a plan for all the roads in the township, not just the ones that certain supervisors come with a list. And admittedly, I said King too, so I'm not just blaming Elizabeth. We need to come up with a plan, and I've asked this from the beginning of Gateway, of all the roads in our township to find out what level we're at, what absolutely needs to be repaired this year, next year, and the year after. And I've been, we've talked about that before.
We put a 5-year plan together at the beginning of the year. We talked about all the roads that were on a 5-year plan.
This is a whole new thing. We're not talking about an individual 5-year plan. We're talking about one bond
But if
issue.
we have a 5-year plan, then we can say, okay, this is something that absolutely has to get done. Now we're considering a 5-year bond issue. We can go back to that plan and say, okay, if we're going to take out $5 million, which of these roads would benefit from
Never
it?
said a 5-year bond issue. That's.
I mean, I said $5 million. But I think that before we just randomly pick roads, if we are really serious about taking out $5 million and using taxpayer money for this, we need to do a full assessment of the roads in the township.
That's what they just said.
It's all the road, Long Road itself, Road
Put a corner on there.
Okay.
Long Road is a long road. And the whole thing got to be done.
Yeah, I mean, the Hahn roads are in worse shape, and so is that short part of Grange. I mean, when I drove on those, they were worse than what.
I have those on the list, Andy.
Huh?
I have those on the list.
I mean,
That
to
one
be
guy
honest,
came
I
up-
would say Anger is significantly worse than Coleman.
Oh.
That's true. I don't know why you put up a guide road that's gonna fall over the hill with the telephone.
Well, if you want to, Dan, if you want to get together and go ahead and name some of these worst roads that are off of that list,
Okay.
and start with that
I
first
think I
and see
know
where
whatever,
it's at.
I think I have an idea of what will work for everybody.
Okay.
Okay, and when can we have it reasonably, Dan? I don't need to put any pressure on you, because we've certainly put enough.
Give me a chance to look at it with Joe tomorrow. I think we have a lot of the numbers, it's just a matter of organizing it. It won't take too long.
And you'll take into consideration the roads that I've mentioned.
Okay,
Dan, you'll take into consideration the roads that I've mentioned.
Yeah, they were all on that plan.
I know they were.
all right, so you come up with some ideas and numbers here.
Okay.
Okay. The next resolution is